Fire, air, water, earth. The journey through the Foggy Bottom Swamp continues as our heroes seek to uncover the dark plans of the Shadow Cabal. After narrowly escaping a deadly pirate ambush, their flying bison trinket has been injured, forcing them to seek aid in the thick brush of the nearby swamp. But the swamp is a land of secrets and challenges. Its misty expanse holds both ancient wisdom and lurking dangers, testing the group's resolve as well as bonds they are beginning to forge with one another. As they make camp beneath the looming trees, the night holds its own dangers, with strange whispers and eerie sights surrounding their camp. Can they withstand the trials of the night and hold their fragile alliance together, or will the swamp's mysteries dive them further into uncertainty? Welcome to Avatar Legends Session 4, Routes to Recovery. My name is John Blair. I am your GM and lore bender for tonight's episode. Thank you for joining us here on the Shadows of Nox Twitch stream. I'm going to go ahead and let the players introduce themselves, give a little backstory on their characters, who they're playing, some other projects they might be involved in here on the channel or elsewhere, and we'll jump right into it. So I think first I'll start with how about because he jumped to me first in our last game together, I will jump to Grim.
Yeah, I got called out because of what happened when we recorded Villains last night, huh? Hi, I'm Grim. I am your resident firebender today, Masaru Choi, who is the prodigy, who also knows how to lightning bend. That's why he's the prodigy. It's great. You can actually catch me here on Being Villainous as the GM for our wonderful GM tonight, who is playing a great character for that game. I'm really enjoying it. You can catch me on Power Rangers. For the podcast, I'll be joining the cast in Season 3 as the Green Ranger, and you can catch me as the Red Ranger for Centurion. I'm in a lot of the one-shots from the last anniversary event. I also ran Chill, so you can catch me here on occasion when we actually can get together. You can catch me on Lucas Variety playing Fallout as my resident Ray of Sunshine Vault Boy Lucky, whom I absolutely adore and who's been told that he is the Ray of Sunshine you just want to punch in the face, and that makes me laugh every time I think about it. That's pretty much it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and let whoever's next go next.
How about we popcorn it to Rezin?
Just put a piece of chocolate in my mouth. Okay. Hello. I'm Rezin, the owlbear. You can find me here on Twitch, where I occasionally randomly decide to actually stream. Sometimes. You can also find me right here on the Shadow of Nox for Shadowrun. I play Jolie. And I think one other character who I'm forgetting at the moment. And you can also find me in the one-shots, which should be up on YouTube, I believe. Tonight I am playing Chime, our pillar. And he is having a hard time being a leader in this group of awesome people who just know he doesn't quite know where he fits, and he doesn't quite know what the boundaries are at the moment, but he's working on it. He's trying really hard not to kill people or to get them killed.
That's good. I would hope nobody ends up dying in the group. That would be sad.
You can't tell me what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, go do that thing over there.
You're right.
Oops,
the person I should be worried about is the resident nun whose entire life has been focused on
monk. They're not. It's not a nun. I don't worship any particular thing.
Well, I'm referring to your character, Sister Chime.
I am aware.
They're nuns.
Nun.
They're called nuns in the universe.
Called sisters.
That's
not the same thing.
I don't know if that's okay. We will delve into the
write in the comments.
Sacred texts.
Uh-huh.
You can fight us in the comments.
Fight us in the comments of which one is right. Anyway, I will let Kit introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Kit. I'm in a number of the one-shots here on Shadow of Nox, as well as in the Being Villainous 102 game that has been mentioned previously, where I am a fun owl necromancer doing completely fine and normal things. Don't worry about it. I'm also in the Lucas G Variety Channel's Fallout game, where I play V4/C70R, name that I continuously regret. But for this game, I am playing Sister Chime, the icon of the Order of the Moth Tiger, and trying desperately to help my poor bison that the GM maliciously shot out of the sky.
So sorry.
Maliciously.
How else would you describe that? There's no non-malicious way to shoot someone out of the sky.
I mean, they were pirates.
Yeah, and they did want your bison real bad. But hey, listen, they didn't get it, so yet. Who knows if you'll run into them again.
It's done forever.
I'll bump it up next to Clock.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me both on Twitch and YouTube under that same name. I generally do cozy streams when my stream wants to cooperate with itself. I just actually hit my affiliate anniversary. I've been doing streaming for 3 years, and that's still gets me sometimes. Anyway, on Shadow of Nox, I'm usually here on Tuesdays, either on this game or on the opposite game of Shadowrun, where I play another beleaguered older character because I've typecast myself when it comes to Shadow of Nox. Tonight I am playing the Elder, Li Shen, who was the leader of this group and was supposed to be, or at least the organization that Chime and Grimm's character and I are part of. And it was supposed to be like using this time to let Chime become the leader and step back, but as you know, everything is imploding, and he's having to try to keep separating himself out while still being forced back into leadership things.
All right, and finally we've got Lottie.
It's me, Lottie All the West, joining you. I am on most socials at Lottie All the West. I'm on Shadows of Nox with Being Villainous. You can catch me as the Goblin Ermagard Wise, who is obsessed with stealing beauty. I'm in the Power Rangers podcast, which is currently on break. And you can also check out some of my stuff on my socials. I'm currently one of the writers for Hawkins, which is a LARP going up in the Wisconsin Dells next year. And it's going to be kind of Stranger Things and 80s horror media themed. So if you're into that, definitely check it out. It's going to be really cool. My LARP Whispering Pages is going to be featured at Intercon in Rhode Island. That's going to be really, really sick. And I'm going to be participating in a few different events next year. So if you've ever wanted to play a game with me, let's dress up and be silly together. That's my favorite thing to do. Today I'm playing the bold Do Rah. She is a swamp bender, and she is always accompanied by her wonderful possum chicken, Bow Bow. So I'm so excited to play tonight, and I'm so excited to see where our adventure continues onward.
All right, sure. Before we jump into the rest of the adventure, I would like to do our segment of Previously on Avatar. Anyone want to jump in, and if they can remember so long ago when we last played, which was 4 weeks ago, because we ended up taking a week off last time. Anyone want to do their due diligence and remind the group of what happened last time?
I will say I remember only a few things because I was dealing with tech problems the last time we had a session. But I do remember we went through the misty fogs of spirits being mischievous and people dealing with that while we trudged through. I think we also finished the fight with the pirates. But again, my recollection is kind of hazy because I was so busy trying to fix everything.
We had fled the pirates, and we had a we had a lovely, touching moment of Dora Lee calming down Chamu from the mist's effects, and
Yes.
it was a very tight, sweet moment, which I found hilarious because not like 20 feet behind them was Li Shen being bitched out by the last avatar the entire time, and like having to white knuckle through it. We had our prisoner, who we talked to, and we finally got her out of her chains and gave her a clothing that wasn't the cult uniform. So now we do have the cult uniform if we need to ever infiltrate. We found out what was the prisoner's name?
Lyra is her name.
Lyra. And we got some ideas about where they were going next, which was to a library in the desert.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, that pretty much covers most of the very important bits. You guys trekked through the misty swamp. The swamp did have a few weird effects on some of the members of the group who were towards the back of Trinket as you guys were moving through, while Sister Chime was at the front, huffing and puffing with all of her might to keep the fog from affecting those in front. However, there were some side effects to those in the backs, which were just a little bit of tame hallucination. But yeah, you set Lyra free. She doesn't seem really keen to want to leave the group just yet. She is kind of still hanging out with you guys. She doesn't really feel like going back into that thick fog and risking her life by herself. She doesn't really know this area very well, so she's not really keen to sort of leave you at the moment. So for the time being, you do sort of have an extra party member to deal with. But who knows? She might be useful in case you guys do ever run into the Cabal in the future. Yeah, so at the end of the last session, we decided you guys decided that you wanted to take some shifts in sort of watching the camp, just making sure that nothing crazy happened. And so we're going to kind of go through that. And first up is Lee. You decided to take first shift while everyone else sleeps. So good news for you, or bad, depending. It's pretty uneventful for the first few minutes of your few hours of your shift, or as it goes. It's going pretty smoothly, although you do happen to notice maybe about halfway through that somebody ends up sitting next to you. It is somebody that you recognize, and it is once again somebody that you might have had a run-in with last time. Sitting next to you, sort of lounging on a nearby stone in a sort of Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park position. I can hear myself in somebody else's thing.
Wrap myself out. It was me. I'm sorry. I hit a button.
Okay.
Cool.
And it's Kuruk again, and he's kind of looking at you, sort of staring you up and down, and it's just like, old man, look at you. What are you still doing this for? I figured you would have eased yourself into retirement by now.
That was in fact the plan before you got yourself killed.
I know, right? What a bummer. I mean, I did my best. It's just some of those spirits, they... I don't know if you've had any run-ins with any of them recently, but the ones I faced, they were tough. They drain a lot from you. A lot of your life energy, and it's just ended up meeting my fate a little earlier than I'd expected.
You neglected your work and got yourself killed.
Whew.
Damn.
Just as cold as ever. You know, I could have sworn when I first met you, you were from the Water Tribe. based on that chilly demeanor of yours, but I know better now, of course. You remember that one time we were in the mountains of the Earth Kingdom, you and I, and we ended up doing a little hunting? Ah, man, good times, good times.
And when I first met you, I could have assured you that your current girlfriend at the time deserved better, and she did.
All right, wow. Ugh. So tell me about this.
You, by the way.
Oh, well, thanks. I check up on her now every now and again. You know, got to do my rounds as a spirit, making sure everything's sort of in at least a little bit better than I left it. The new girl's doing a pretty good job, I guess. Not a lot of people trust her, though.
Well, I wonder what could have given the reputation around her that the Avatar was shirking their duties. But don't worry. She's doing what you never did and what you couldn't.
So, tell me about this group you're hanging out with with now. I recognize maybe a few members. That Chime fellow seems to have grown up pretty well. I've been kind of watching you guys, you know, from the spirit realm. What's got you on this quest so far?
Well, for reasons we won't go into again, a lot of the spirits have been riled up. And it looks like a group took advantage of this and caused a local spirit to go wild. Which...
another one?
Well, you don't have to worry about it now, not that you worried about them beforehand. But it caused half my team to be injured. It's not even my team anymore. It's Shamu's team.
Hey, listen. I know I might have not lived up to my potential or whatever, but you got to understand that these spirits were coming into they were so angry. They were busting through the spiritual plane and attacking villages just like this one you're talking about now. And no one else had any sort of know how to do anything about it. I did the only thing I knew how to do, which was fight. I ended up killing a lot of spirits, and it ended up having its toll on me and my body. But just remember, if you put too much effort into something that you probably shouldn't be doing, it could have bad consequences. You need to trust that kid more. He'll figure it out.
I am doing my best, which is a sad echo of what you just said, which makes me question everything I've been doing.
Well, hey, what's being a spirit if not being cryptic? Anyway, I'll see you soon, buddy. And with that, Kuruk is gonna sort of flicker away out of your vision.
Li Shen has, as Kuruk fades away, and is looking over these absolute children, because even if Chamu is an adult, all of them are just children at this point. And he's going to reach under his clothes and rub his right shoulder. And not that it's causing pain, but just as like an absent-minded thing. And then we'll pull out in the little, like, whatever dregs of the firelight there is, a more parchment, and just start writing another letter.
All right. The rest of your shift goes pretty smoothly. Not much really else happens. You don't see any more visions of Kuruk or any other sort of weird anomalies, and your shift passes. Up next, Dora, you are the next person in line.
On account of I'm so brave.
On kind of you're so brave.
So as I wake up Dora, and try to not wake up the Bao Bao, who will scream because Bao Bao does nothing
He's a
but scream.
screamer. He loves screaming. That's his favorite thing.
Li Shen will be like, oh wait, no, sorry, he's talking to Dora. I gotta correct myself. All right, now, little one, gotta be a bit on guard here. The spirits are restless. They're talking up a mean game. Don't let them get in your head.
Well, lucky for you all, I ain't afraid of nothing.
I know you're not, but just in case you want someone to come see your bravery, don't you forget to holler if you need to, okay?
Well, I appreciate you. I'm just gonna slowly pick up Bao Bao and like let him sleep next to Trinket. Probably just nuzzled up next to Trinket.
All right. As you start your watch, Dora, Dora Lee, Dora Lee,
Dorley.
you could swear you may see something sort of rustling about in the edge of the mist.
I am familiar with these parts, so I'm not gonna pay it no heed unless it starts to look troublesome. So I'm gonna be on attention, but I'm not gonna be afraid.
Okay.
Zeroing in, but not being scared. On account of I'm so brave.
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 How many syllables is in that word, by the way?
As many as you need.
On account of I'm so brave.
Brave.
Okay, great. All right.
That's the entire shift.
All right.
Don't really saying brave.
Brave.
And a spirit just from the other side. Brave.
Brave. Yeah,
night.
well, the spirit does make a little bit of a noise. It sounds a little growly. A little growl you hear coming from the mist. I'd like you to roll assess a situation, please. That is with your creativity.
Bingo. I got a hit.
All right. Out of the mist, you see it kind of crawling towards you. It's an otter crocodile. They're native to these lands. Think of a mix between an otter and a crocodile.
It's not an otter gator?
Really?
Ooh, that's a better name. Otter gator.
Otter gator.
Otter gator. But Dora, you have a history with this animal. When you were younger, you had a little bit of a run-in with them. You fell into a deep section of swamp water and had a pretty nasty run-in with one of these things. Fortunately, you were saved by your friends at the time that were with you. But seeing this thing doesn't really make you feel great. And I want to give you an option here. Because Poli told you that if you wanted to, you could wake him up if you needed to. Do you want to do that? Do you want to wake the members of your group? and risk showing some vulnerability, or do you want to face this croc alone?
Mm, I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna try to face it alone at first, and then if I can't handle it, because I'm trying to be brave and I want everybody to get sleep.
Okay. In that case, I'd like you to shift your balance one step towards confidence, please.
Ah,
The red dot is your center, and the blue
Mm.
part is like where it travels. So, like, to keep
cool.
touch of that. And I'm not sure if you had it going one way or the other before.
I did.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to do?
I think.
Do you want to try and scare it off? Do you want to try and, I don't know, reason with it?
I want to get a stick and I want to try to scare it off. I feel like that's a reasonable way to try to scare off a critter.
A 15-foot long, half otter, half alligator with clamping jaws of destruction and a growling tone in its voice. You believe a stick is the best course of action.
The way I see it, Do Rah is the equivalent of a Florida man. But
But where will we get the bath
let's
salts?
state for the record that everybody just like completely just went like that.
What do you think we're going to be using to heal Trinket when we get to the swamp people? Kit.
Oh, you don't want something that big on bath salts.
Are you
It's a
kidding
problem
me?
for
We're
everybody.
going to get to that desert in like an hour and a half tops. Trinket's going to be booking it.
No, I think so. I think she's gonna try to do something with the stick. You know, I'm gonna wave stick at it and be like, "Get out of here! Get on!" Try to be quiet though too, because I don't want to wake anybody up. But I might be loud. Because I don't. Do Rah is not a quiet person, but she is trying to be quiet.
All right. If you're going to try and scare it off with your stick, I am going to ask you to roll an intimidate, which is with your passion.
Good. I got a miss.
Dun dun dun.
It ain't scared of you.
Yeah, that croc takes a big bite out of that stick. You don't have a stick anymore.
Oh, shut. Oh,
How are you feeling in this moment?
I am. You know, I think I was trying really hard to be brave and strong. But now I am nervous and feeling like a little kid again. Like, which is like that, like, you know, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna overcome this fear. I've grown so much farther past it. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this stick. Obviously, that's the best course of action. And instead, it's still winning. So, you know, maybe I'm not as grown up as I thought. And
I will say your balance meter is at the far end of confidence, which means if you decide to live up to your confident nature and if you can come up with another reason to another way to maybe scare this creature off using maybe, I don't know, other talents that you have, I would say that you would be able to roll with that stat instead of one of the other ones.
maybe I'll try to jump on its back and wrestle this creature.
You're gonna jump on the back of this otter gator and wrestle it.
I think that could work.
Okay.
We're gonna
All
wake
right.
up in the morning and be like, oh man, I slept good. Where's Do Rah?
You
Well, I
do
guess
remember
we're
that
on.
you are a bender, right? I just want to make sure that
I'm
you
gonna use.
remember that.
What if I like make like a water muzzle?
A water muzzle?
Yeah. Like I like bend some water and make it into a muzzle.
Sure. You are also currently surrounded by lush swamp life and vines and things of that nature. But if you want to make a
Vine
water
bend,
muzzle,
then.
that's okay.
I could water vine bend. Ooh, what if I use the vines to like and like
Okay.
smack it away?
Is the name of the move is Wacha? Wacha?
Yeah, wacha, water bending vine whip.
All right. Then I will leave you a choice. You have the choice to roll with your creativity for a rely on your skills and training, because as a member of the swamp, you have been taught how to bend the water within the plants to do those kind of things. Or you can roll instead of with your creativity, you can roll with your confidence, which is a +3. So you would just roll the 2 die and then add 3 to that.
Yeah, I'll do it with my confidence. What do I press? I just press the.
Just roll 2 d6s.
Do that. 2d6s.
9, and then with the +3, that is a 12. So you hit extraordinarily. You get a I don't, what do they call this? A full hit.
Critical success.
Critical success. And yeah, the otter gator backs up a little bit and retreats back into the mist. So you've taken another step at becoming more confident. So what I want you to do now is I want you to move your little red dot to the +2, and then I'm going to have you reset your balance meter to the middle. The other way, towards the confidence track, the white side.
Oh, I messed it up. There we go. Boop, boop. Come on. Come on, you.
I can do it.
Thanks. All right. Well,
Cool.
I think because I succeeded, but I was also trying to be quiet, but I'm excited that I did that. I'm going to go, woo! I'm just going to like shout it out because I got really hype. And then I'm like, oh,
I think like half asleep Li Shen is up with sword out. Like, what? Huh?
oh, I'm so sorry, y'all.
What?
I just took care of something. I'm so
Your shriek made Bao Bao wake up, and now he's running around the camp.
oh, come on, you, come on. And then like she is currently like holding
Everything
this
okay?
really wiggly possum chicken like this, but he's all like
I'm gonna say that you end up catching Bao Bao, and you apologize to the rest of the group, and
Yeah,
the rest of your watch goes pretty smoothly.
I would like to point out Masaru slept through the whole thing. Somehow he's in this. He's been using a stump as a bed, but like only for his like abdomen, so the rest of him is hanging off like a cat.
Is like Masaru chasing cars in his dream? Like, is he doing the thing where like just something starts running real quick and stops?
Nope. He is just sprawled out over this stump. He did not fall asleep on the stump, by the way. He rolled on top of it, and it's just drooling.
That can't be good for you.
Remember,
All right.
though, he's 15. When I was 15, I could sleep on anything.
Yeah, just totally knocked out through whatever you're dealing with. That being said, you are next up.
she
Oh.
is okay. Norley's gonna go right up to you and like shake you a little bit, and she's like, "Hey, I hate to wake you up, but it is your time to wake up, my friend. Good. Come on.
Mind watch now?
Yeah, you're
All
on watch now.
Excellent.
If you come across another otter gator, just let me know. I can handle them real good now."
Oh, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. I can scare most wildlife off. Fire.
That is a good point. Anyways,
He's going to
I'm
go
gonna
over
go back.
there and stoke the fire. If it went out, he's going to turn it back on.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
ease, of course. You
Firebender. Of course.
yeah,
it's easy.
yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair, lighting fire, pushing fire out of your fist, or however you do that, comes very naturally to you. Obviously, how your energy, your chi leaving your body comes very naturally to you. That being said, if I remember this correctly,
Masaru, by the way, during his during the first part of his watch to wake himself up, he's doing stretches and high knee movements, all like localized, so he's not making a ton of noise, but enough to get his blood moving, so he's awake again.
Absolutely. And you could swear you hear somebody else doing the exact same thing, warming up, stretching, making little grunts here and there. And you also feel like you can hear the sound of crackling fire as it moves through the air, as if it's being bent.
Ah, that's cool. I'm gonna look around.
Sure. It seems to be coming closer to the edge of the campsite.
Oh yeah, no, if it's in the fog, I'm not dealing with that. I was told by Sister Chime the fog is probably bad, and I'm gonna trust Sister Chime. She seems pretty smart.
She does. She is very smart. Do you look in that direction at all, or are you?
No, I'm looking because it's a potential threat.
For sure. Can you roll me and assess the situation, please?
Sure.
All right.
Yay.
It's weird. You're looking in that direction, and yeah. You want to ask a question?
I mean, I'm taking the one in the third question is what should I be on the lookout for, aka what's going on?
Sure. This person, this being that seems to be on the other side of this fog, that you can kind of see, it looks like they're firebending. They're doing something really interesting. They're kind of jumping in the air and throwing a jet of fire, what it looks like underneath, using their feet. And it's almost like they're keeping themselves airbound, using small little jets of flame.
That's kind of cool. I'm gonna copy that.
It is cool. It's actually a skill that you are currently in the mode of practicing.
Correct. Right.
You try. Yeah, I'm gonna. How about I believe for anything practice, I know this is a technique that actually isn't combat, but
techniques are all combat related. Every single one of them.
Yeah, if it's something that they have some kind of training for, it's rely on your skills and training.
yeah, but this is but they don't have training in this, so it wouldn't be a skills and training move. It would be a push your luck, I think.
I mean, push your luck's literally pushing your luck.
So here, let's do this. Okay, so the wording for rely on your skills and training says specifically when you rely on your skills and training to overcome an obstacle, gain new insight, or perform a familiar custom. So, I mean, would this be gaining insight? Because pushing your luck is when you're trying to do something you're not good at or you're taking a huge risk. I don't know if this counts as a huge risk.
That is true. I just feel like it. Anyway, all right. Let's decide.
Okay. The other thing we're looking at is there's, if I remember correctly, there is a there's a role for learning new techniques.
Well, okay. So technically, this when you use this in combat, right? Because this is a combat technique.
Yes.
It is an advance and attack, which means you have to roll with passion in order to do it. So, and I believe the rules are if it's a practice technique, the only way you can successfully do it is if you roll a 10 or higher.
Correct. Now, jet stepping is an evade and observe.
Oh, I'm sorry. In that case, it's that one, which is creativity or harmony.
I would be using harmony because my creativity sucks. So you want me to roll with harmony?
Yeah, I would like you to roll. I'm sorry. I'd like you to roll a harmony, please.
Hooray, miss.
All right. You can't really get it down, but you, through the fog sort of lightens as you look into it, and you can kind of make out this person's features. They seem to be a younger woman, probably late teens, early 20s, with what looks like noble Fire Nation armor. So there is somebody out there, short, very short, straight hair, a little bit of a mean looking face, who knows how to do this technique. And perhaps if you come across them on your travels, you'd be able to learn it from them. But you kind of have the vague look of them in your mind, so you'll keep that in the back of your head for future reference. Cool.
Okay. So he's got that look in his head, and he's going to sit down by the fire again, and he's going to start making some tea because now he's got to think, and this is a thing he got from his master. When it's time to think, it's tea time.
Great. I love the sound of tea in the morning.
So whoever he wakes up next is going to have a nice piping hot tea with, surprisingly enough, a slice of dried lemon and a little bit of honey.
Up next on the watch is Chamu.
Note to self. After Masaru and watch.
What'd you say?
Note to self. Always go after Masaru and watch.
Just because there was tea this time does not mean there will be tea next time.
I know,
True.
but tea sounds amazing right now.
Does Masaru come and wake him?
Yeah, when Masaru comes and wakes him up, and he's got basically like the equivalent of a granola bar and like a cup of tea, and he's like, "Here, it's your turn."
Oh, thank you, Masaru. Go lay down. Finish your rest. I will keep watch.
Masaru's not going to be able to fall asleep right away because he's been busy thinking, and he's kind of a dum-dum. So when his brain is working that hard, it takes a little bit for him to be able to go back to sleep time. So he kind of rolls around for a little bit, and then when he does fall asleep, he finds himself sleeping upside down while leaning against Trinket. So like his feet are all up on her side, and he's like laying on his back.
He's Aang.
That means you also have Bao Bao snuggled up. Because like I feel like Bao Bao is snuggled up in Trinket. Like,
So he's in a cuddle puddle with the animals.
yeah, could be worse.
Could be
Yeah.
worse.
I guess Chamu watches this for a moment while he sips tea. Just kind of shakes his head. He's like, yeah, all right. How did I end up here? How is this my party?
Well, that's how the beginning of your shift will start. Sooner or later, the quietness of the swamp seems sort of calming, and you're sipping that tea, and it's very good for your spirit. Those little flames you saw when you were first sort of rolling through the fog kind of show, like one kind of shows up in front of you and splits itself in half and creates two little paths in front of you. And as you sort of stare at those paths, they sort of take on different shapes. One of them is you, but it's not really a you that you recognize. It's what looks like a much more confident version of you. Chest sort of puffed out, looking very strong, standing very heroically, really looking like a true hero. However, you're all alone on that side.
Okay.
The other flame, as you sort of follow that one, it shows something different. It shows other figures, other people, not surrounding you, but almost as if they're in front of you. Sort of taking the spotlight away from you, and you are behind them, and you look defeated, disheveled almost. It's showing you a sort of two different versions of yourself. And what do you think to yourself as you look at these two different depictions?
I'm thinking, sorry about that. I'm thinking, like, I can see myself being confident, but I don't want to be alone. But I don't want to be surrounded by people and always pushed to the back. But I also don't want to take up all the spotlight either. I want to be in the spotlight with them. I want there to be balance. How do I balance these two so that I get both of what I want? More confidence and
The shapes start to move around a little bit as you sort of think about this. The one of you sort of sulking behind the others starts to play out a little scene of you, what seems to be more in a support role. You seem to be assisting these other people that are around you while they show off while they have their chest puffs out and they're looking very strong and commanding. But in the meantime, the other one starts to change, and your lonesome leader, Will-O-Wisp, has some sort of group starting to form around it. But you can't really tell if the group that's forming around it is praising you or attempting to shun you.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he'll lean into that thought process a little longer and really just try to focus on like the how do I bring balance to this so that I can help but not, you know, how can I lead without just being a dick, right? How do I lead?
Sure. I think that's just something you're going to have to think
I-
about as you travel with this group.
Yeah, I think the rest of those thoughts are like reminding himself of like how uh Poli led the group initially and how he let other people shine while while he was leading them into the right direction. So
Sure. All right.
trying to bring that balance in.
Yeah, and in the distance you hear sort of a squawk, probably one of the local animals just making a sound, and it kind of grabs your attention. And when you look back, the two figures are gone, and it seems to be Chime's time to do her little rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
To be
poke
fair,
Chime.
there unless Chamu drank it all, there should still be a little tea left.
No, I
Just drink it.
think he like drank that cup really slowly. He enjoyed it. There's definitely a full another cup left.
Because of Masaru's tea, you do have a couple things of fatigue on your character sheet, and
Yep.
I will let you get rid of those because of the tea.
Ooh. Oh, delicious tea. Thank you, Masaru.
He makes good tea.
He's gonna pour a cup for Chime, what's left. Make sure to fill it and kind of get it started again, and then go wake Chime. Chime.
It doesn't take much to wake her. She's very used to waking up early.
Good
You know,
morning.
days start early
Here
at the
you are.
temple.
Yeah. Oh.
My
Are
chair
you
just
okay,
tried to
Chime?
kill me. It's fine.
Didn't mean to startle you. Here, cup of tea to help you get going. There's more on the campfire. I'm gonna get the rest of my rest.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
be-
Thank you very, very much.
Be careful looking into the fog and the fire. It plays tricks on you. And then he's just gonna go lay down.
Yeah, sure. That's a fine thing to wake someone up and like, be careful. Things are fucked. Bye.
They're not fucked. They're a little hinky.
How ominous. All right, sure.
We're doing
They're
some pinky shit
ominous.
in Pakistan. Elliot, where are you? Pakistan.
All right, I will drink the tea, and since mine is the final shift, while assuming something doesn't horribly distract me, I'll also start, getting the camp ready for, everyone else to be awake.
Sure. As you're sort of putting the camp away, and getting things ready,
Just
you
on the left.
notice a small little creature, kind of make its way through some of the bags and satchels and other sort of items that you have scattered about. It looks kind of like a rabbit, but it's also glowing a bright blue.
I'm gonna, to clarify, that's not what rabbits normally do in Avatar, because that is the sort of question you have to ask sometimes.
No, and I mean, it doesn't.
Okay.
It also doesn't really look like a rabbit. It's rabbit in shape, but its ears aren't very rabbit-like. They're more like feathery looking. But
Moth rabbit, got it. Okay.
you can
Rabbit moth.
Well, I mean, I will say that you are attuned to the spirits enough to know that this is a spirit.
I was. I
Navi.
will.
John got the wrong kind of Avatar book.
Damn it. I don't want to be in that book. I will cautiously approach it and try and get its attention. Does it seem to be going through like in an animalistic way, or does it seem to have intention when it's like?
It seems it seems a little chaotic, I guess. It seems like it's found. Dora, do you have any sort of play things for Bao Bao? Do you guys?
I think Bao Bao has a little ball that I keep in my bag, like one of my little hip pouches.
Yeah.
Little.
What do you do? What do you do with it? You like just play?
Yeah, like I
fetch
like
type
roll it
thing, or
around. Oh,
There's
and
no way Bao Bao fetches and brings things back. I refuse
no,
to.
it's more like I throw it and then I find it back in my stuff a few hours later, or sometimes like a various like string or like little trinket-esque thing is inserted into my things, and then it becomes a new toy.
okay, yeah.
Are you telling me Bao Bao is a tiny thief?
Yes.
Okay.
Categorically, of
Possums
course,
have
Bao
little-
Bao's a
Possums have little fingers. They have little fingies.
Sure.
Sure.
Multiple thumbs.
It does. That's true. It does. They do.
Bao Bao also knows how to flip people off. That's neither here nor there. It's just something Bao Bao knows.
Oh, that's great.
Good to know.
It seems like the spirit kind of wants you to like play with it.
Sure. I've got no problem with that. I assume it's. Are you saying it's like found the ball and is like making gestures with it, or it just seems playful?
Seems playful. Kind of pushing things around, pushing the ball around, getting into some of the bags and some of the supplies, and just kind of rummaging. Kind of making what you're trying to do a little harder. But you have a choice here. You can either sort of keep doing what you're doing, trying to get the spirit away so you can help start pack up the camp, or you can engage with it and
I already said I'll play
you'll
with it.
engage
Like,
with it.
yeah, it's not like it's really hurting anything, and it was a task I took upon myself anyway, so it's not like anyone can be mad at me for not doing it.
Sure, absolutely.
So I will, play keep away with it or toss something that's, obviously not important so that it can either catch or chase after things, whatever things that it engages in with me.
All right, cool. In that case, I would like you to shift your balance a little bit toward one spot towards freedom.
Goody. Making sure we don't get that growth this time.
Oh no. Anyway, and with that, everyone's watches have been completed. It is the next day. You all start to sort of wake up. Is anyone going to talk to anyone or mention anything that happened to them over the night? Or
I mean, is my little spirit friend still here, or did it disappear with the rising sun?
you turned around at one point, and it has since disappeared as the sun has risen.
Did it take Bao Bao's toy with it?
No, it did not.
Okay.
Papa could find a new toy. Okay, apparently he's good at it.
I was gonna say Masaru's gonna wake up cuddling Bao Bao while leaning on Trinket and be like,
And Bao Bao makes like little noises like. That's what I imagine a possum chicken sounds like. So that was my interpretation.
Here's the question, though. The most important of questions. Does Bao Bao crow like a rooster with the sun?
I will let Dora answer that question.
God.
I think Bao Bao does, but only on certain days. So,
Is it
Okay, so it
growing
just
or is
arbitrarily
just, like, a
screams in the
screaming?
morning.
so sometimes it'll be like specific days. Like I think that it has to do with moons because we're a specifically swamp bound people, and he is very connected to our society. And the moon and water are very tied, as you know. And so,
That's
you
right,
know.
buddy.
Masaru's gonna stand up, put Bow Bow on his head, hug Trinket, and go say "good pillow," and then go find breakfast.
And then you just hear like.
Sure. Is someone making breakfast for the group?
Masaru's used to it. That's kind of the thing. His master forces him to make breakfast every day. Like, it's one of those like part of his training. He's to get used to being self-reliant. So without even thinking about it, he's like walking over to their supplies and starting to make porridge. Also, more tea.
Which is odd because you find that the teapot is still full.
He's just gonna pour himself some tea.
Yeah. I have no idea if Chime actually drank anymore.
Um,
Depends on how much attention the little rabbit friend ended up taking up.
All of it.
Great.
Dorley is.
As you.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Continue.
I was just gonna say, Dorley is going to stretch and be like, "I'm so sorry again, y'all. If I woke y'all up, if anybody was, I got real startled by a critter, but good
What kind of
morning."
critter? Yeah, morning. What kind of critter was it that you saw last night?
Oh, I saw me an otter gator.
Otter gator. And
It was real big too. It was like
you didn't think to maybe wake us up?
I handled it.
It's an otter gator or a croc otter.
I
Those two things.
applaud you. That is a very big feat to do.
My thinking was if it started getting out of hand, I would just call one of y'all to come and help me. But I figured I would try and give it my bestest shot, because I wanted to make sure y'all getting your beauty sleep and such.
I appreciate it, but next time we have something big come into camp, wake me or pull me up.
As soon
Wild
as you
animals
say
are
that,
easy to deal with. Whoosh.
as soon as you say that, Chamu, everyone hears rustling coming from the trees. Seems like something is coming towards you and very fast.
Li Shen was in the middle of doing morning stretches and going through the forms of this sword, and then so immediately just kind of turns and reorients towards it, and then starts walking towards.
Looks like we have something coming upon us. Prepare yourselves.
As you sort of looking into it, it's something barges through the fog, as if it's running very quickly, not too quickly that it's like an animal or anything like that, but all of a sudden in front of you is another human. Oh, finally, y'all are awake. Jeez, you guys are a bunch of lazy sums, aren't you?
Masaru's just going to yawn at him while
Gonna
making
look at
breakfast.
the sun, which
Mhm.
just came up.
Listen, around these parts, this guy's stretching, sort of doing his own morning routines. It's he might have been also asleep 5 seconds ago. But anyway, I'm glad y'all are up. And well, look who decided to finally come back. And this person is staring at our resident Swampy. What, you don't remember my name? It's Eugene. Don't you remember?
Oh my god.
Or do you not remember, since you went up and left the whole tribe?
Sorry, I have to ask.
No.
Is your middle
don't
name
necessarily-
Gene and your first name
Don't.
you?
His name is Yu, and his last is Gene. Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Like kudos, but that hurts my soul.
I'll just wait till you meet the rest of them. All right. Anyway, I've been watching y'all all night, and looks like you got a hurt critter there. Unfortunately, I don't think this one knows the way to the swamp no more, because she led you through the thick of it. Probably almost had you guys killed. Some of them visions can be as real as a man-eating otter gator.
See, a real man-eating otter gator.
Yeah, I remember the last time you saw one of them man-eating otter gators. You were crying like a baby.
Never man-eating otter gator all by myself, and I handled it, and it ran off all scared. So don't even try to say anything like that to me, Eugene.
For someone watching
it-
us all night, you apparently
you-
missed that.
If you were here all night, why didn't you say anything to anyone?
Well, you could have come into camp.
wasn't sure if I could trust y'all, if I'm being honest. Been some creepy people around these parts. Wasn't sure if you were some of them. But soon I noticed that you had Do Rah over here with you. I wasn't sure if she was captured or what.
Untrustworthy.
I was just
wouldn't
playing
get
it safe
myself no
anyway.
closer.
She took a watch.
Regardless, y'all might want to follow me back to the village. Maybe we'll get you some help for that critter you got there. And he's gesturing towards
Very confused right now.
yeah. I will say, as he's kind of leading you guys towards the swamp, you can, as you guys follow him, you kind of notice that he's walking in sort of like a weird zigzag pattern, and the fog, it's almost as if there's like a trail that if you know your way around, you can kind of walk right through it.
Yeah, I guess follow the leader.
There's
Just
the
kinda-
trail.
A zigzaggy trail.
See,
Did you know about this, Polly?
I
This
find
is
it much more
fascinating.
entertaining to imagine instead that swamp benders are immune to self-introspection, so they are immune to the fog. It just bounces right off. Sorry, that's just the
Right
path
off
he
their
took.
heads.
Sorry. All right.
I do want to make sure. Sorry, I suck at this. Lyra was her name, not Lyra. Lyra's
Lyra,
the
yes.
compass. Lyra.
Lyra.
I ask her what the compass is saying annoyingly for 3.5 hours. No, I want to make sure she's doing okay, as you know, we're all
Oh,
waking up and
yeah.
moving.
Sure.
By the way, for the group, Masaru's porridge is actually pretty passable. He managed not to burn it this time.
Now, here's the thing:
Good to know.
is it spicy?
Ooh.
Yes.
As you guys are, I'm going to assume as he's sort of like, kind of like leading you guys through. One of you is maybe still eating the rest of your porridge, or
Masaru would definitely be walking around with a bowl in his hand. for
oh
the
sure.
porridge.
Well, Eugene is gonna all of a sudden out of nowhere come up from under you, grab the bowl out of your hands, and take a little take his finger, stick it right in, put it in his mouth, and go, woo! Jeez, you know what? You need some seasoning in this. And he's gonna like just toss it back into your hands.
You know, I could have given you a bowl. He's gonna stare down at his bowl. It looks like he's debating whether or not he wants to eat it now that somebody else's finger's been in it.
What wins out, decorum or the 15-year-old boy?
The 15-year-old's appetite.
Yeah.
He just
Remember,
goes back to
At
eating.
least food.
We share a lot in the swamp.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will let you guys know. I don't know why you brought these people here, Dora, but you know that the tribe don't really take kindly to outsiders.
Well, obviously I'm here to help this here critter. And they all kind of came as a package deal.
Her name is
And-
Trinket.
We also have the avatar Chime with us.
Chime's
What
not an
the? I got
avatar.
more of an upgrade.
How did it's like
Who's the avatar?
none of us is the
Sorry.
avatar.
Oh, I
She's the
thought you were.
avatar.
No,
Okay.
I am an airbender.
We also have
I'm from a
Airbender here.
group. I
I'm
can
sorry.
do some neat stuff, but no, I'd be way madder at Li Shen all the time if that was the case,
Also
Yeah.
true.
and I'd never know why.
I have poo brain. The player has poo brain.
No, the Avatar role playing game specifically doesn't let you play the Avatar.
It's true.
Hooray! You know,
Mostly because they're pretty much a story suck. Everything kind of ends up revolving around one player. I think is why they designed
Be
it
very
that way.
OP too.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna avatar BS my way out of this. Bye.
I've decided to be the best.
Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the conversation we were having. As they keep
Mhm.
referring to Trinket as this critter, he's like, her name is Trinket. I mean, you should
Trinket is-
respect Chime's companion, and you should respect Chime for having named her. Oh no!
Oh, well. Sorry, me. I did not realize. I did not know her name. Nice to meet you there. Trinket? Hopefully we can get you patched up, but I don't know. He's gonna look towards Do Rah. You know, Wei Lon is still in charge of the village, and he don't really take kindly to helping outsiders.
Oh, but
Oh God.
I'm gonna have to talk to him. Perhaps I can have a conversation. I'm pretty good at talking to people, and I figure that this is a special circumstance. And I mean, I'm just kind of a sucker for a big old fluffy thing like this.
I
She
mean,
likes
sure.
to-
You know me, I'm just as inclined to all sorts of animals, just like you are. And of course, our old master, Mo Bandy. But I've been training under him since you left, of course. So he's been teaching me all about healing and different medicines and finding all the nice little plants in the swamp that help people feel good. You know, all that kind of stuff. Things that you obviously didn't learn about since you left and all.
I had to do stuff and take care of things.
Oh, yeah, do what? Run out on your family? Run out on your tribe? To what? Chase some dream?
What's wrong with chasing dreams?
We's kin up in these parts. Not supposed to leave your kin,
So
especially for no good reason.
out of character, I thought that Dora Lee was going to get like groceries.
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing. As I recall, in like out of character, that she was like on the yearly trip to buy a few things from the outside world.
I mean, it's okay if that's not the case. I just want to know like what we would have known about Dora Lee's mission before it. Does Li Shen think that she was just getting groceries and turns out she's like Romeo and Julieting her way out of the swamp people, or
It's Dora Lee. Think she was just getting groceries, and this is a
Feel
very weird
like the way
attack.
it goes is that it's kind of like she was going to get stuff, but it's a lot longer of a trip than she had intended.
Left a note for.
That's kind of what I figured. She's like, I'm gonna go get
And
supplies,
she's got like
and then
things
she's
that
been
she
gone.
wants to do. She's got things she wants to learn. The more she gets away from things, the more she wants to learn. She doesn't have any hostility towards her people, but she does have other things that she's interested in.
so Dora Lee ADHD'd her way from a grocery trip into a life-changing adventure.
Yes.
So
Demand herself into an adventure. Come on now.
Understood.
yeah, that is actually correct. That's
This is what happens when you forget the list at home.
I was just supposed to be out here getting butter.
Butter. Sorry.
Oh.
But here we are, and I forgot the butter.
Wait, hold on. You didn't. Okay, you know what? I do that all the time, so I can't say anything.
I
Master
hear
said go do stuff all the time, and I have to come back and ask you, what was I supposed to be doing again?
To be fair, if you can notice anything about this Eugene character, it's that he seems to stretch the truth a little bit. So who knows how long Dorley's been gone? That's maybe something you might want to ask him or maybe her if you want to. But it's definitely been longer than a short trip to the nearest village, for sure.
Hearing all this, Li Shen will go up next to Dorley and be like, "Little one, how long you been away from home?"
She's been gone almost 2 whole years.
I did. Okay, well, A, I didn't ask you. B, what?
She's gonna like look confused, and then she's gonna like turn around as if that's gonna like jog her memory. And like look at she's gonna hold Bao Bao by his tail and look at him in the eye and be like, has it been 2 years?
I'm picturing that whole like tropey thing where she's like got her knuckles on the side of her head and she's like concentrating real hard, trying to remember how long it's been.
All right, let's try it this way, little one. What was the date you left home?
You guys, do they even?
I was going to ask, do they even use calendars in the swamp?
I'm gonna be real honest with you, friend. We don't use any of your fancy schmancy calendars like they have.
Question: how many full moons has it been?
I really should have
Ooh,
kept count, shouldn't I?
That's a great question.
The firebender would be one of the few people who would be like, the moon is important to the waterbenders.
How about add a character? I will come up with a number after we go on break, and then I will come back with
absolutely fine. Okay.
I was going to say, we're getting ready to hit that halfway point. Should we go ahead and take the break now?
It's true. Well, I will let us take the break as soon as you guys pass through the clearing, and you sort of walk into this village hidden within the swamp. It lies among towering, moss-draped cypress trees. Wooden huts are here. They're small, but they're sturdy. They have sort of made out of timber, and they sort of blend really seamlessly into the foliage and trees of the swamp. The roofs are made out of reeds and large palm leaves. You can, as you walk in, you sort of instantly are hit by smells of cooking and spices and different herbs. The village is sort of placed on top of wooden dock-like paths that are sort of right above the marshy, wet earth underneath it. The boards creak underneath you as you walk. You notice a bunch of small skiffs tied to sort of logs and rotted wood in the middle. There's a large dock that serves as sort of like the heart of the village, the big round sort of open space where people kind of hang out and unload their boats and exchange stuff and talk to each other. And yeah, you guys have finally made it into the Foggy Bottom Swamp as you hear the croaks of badger frogs and distant calls of iguana parrots. And everyone seems, as you walk in, you are the odd people out for sure. Everyone is sort of looking at you with very odd expressions, and not too friendly looking, at least not all of them. And with that, we will take our break and we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. I happen to notice that we have a birthday in the chat. Rezin, you know this person?
Yeah, I do. This is my longtime friend, Emerald. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Emerald. Thanks for watching the stream.
Thank you for tuning in.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You could be doing 1,000 other things, but thank you for being here.
True. Everyone watching, we really appreciate it.
Share with friends, please. Share
Yeah,
with friends.
please. Also, we just released our first stream that we did for this campaign has recently been released on YouTube. So if you have not seen our episode 1, our session 1 of this stream, go ahead and check that out on the YouTube channel. Yeah, give it a
And
watch.
if you are watching this episode on the YouTube channel sometime in the near future, go to the comments. Wish Emerald happy birthday. It won't be their birthday at that point, but that doesn't matter. Go do it.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh yeah, we're all caught up on YouTube according to our lovely friend Isabeth.
Booyah.
Oh, all caught up on YouTube. Okay, great.
Now, so if you're really interested in watching all of these incredible characters up until now, it's up for listening. Put it on while you're cleaning your house. That's what I like to do, is put on TTRPG streams and listen to people make up stories.
Don't you
There's
try
also
and
a
trick me
host
into
of-
cleaning my house.
Nah, we're not going to do that.
I'm
There's a
trying to
host
trick
of variety of
myself
games,
into
though,
cleaning
including Avatar, Shadowrun, Call of Cthulhu, Cortex, you guys use Fate for Being Villainous, the Power Rangers RPG. I'm trying to think of everything else we've done. There was the Alien one-shot, Chill.
One shot of Star Trek.
Still one-shot Star Trek.
I'm so mad
there's
I
a
had to miss that
whole
one.
Host
Power
of
Rangers?
different
Did we cover
RPGs
Power
out
Rangers?
there. Yep, I did say
Yeah,
Power
there's
Rangers.
Power Rangers was mentioned, yes.
So if you guys are actually interested in learning how to play the games, I know for me, every time I listen to an actual play, it helps me learn the game much more than just staring at rules on a page, because I get to actually see the rules in action. So if you are looking to explore things, look around the channel, and then hang out. And then if you want to join, the Discord will eventually pop up in the chat again. And then there's a casting call channel on the Discord itself. That's how I got involved in this kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you want to just, I had the whole thing going and my brain just stopped working. So yes, it's a great way to learn new games, to hang out with new cool people, and see amazing things. Shadow of Nox, do cool things.
That was awesome. I love that.
Really cool.
The longest
was-
tangent.
I really like the tangent though.
Best
It was very inspiring. I feel very empowered.
Empowered.
All right. I will say we might feel empowered out of game, but in game, we might not feel too empowered. Like I said, everyone, like a bunch of the villagers are kind of looking at you guys and not really sure what to make of you. You bring Trinket to sort of the center area that I was mentioning earlier. It's really the only place that she can lay down comfortably. While we sort of figure this whole thing out. And as you guys are sort of like being brought into the village, you're greeted eventually by a man somewhere in his 40s or late 40s, maybe early 50s. Seems like a big sort of, muscly type. Well, look who's finally dragged her way back into the swamp. You know, you're supposed to get a few supplies. Wasn't supposed to take you more than a fortnight.
Well, only gone for. She like digs into she has like a little like belt pouch that she keeps a lot of stuff in, and she digs around and she grabs a few things, and it's like there's like little vials and various like trinkets and like thingies, like stuff that looks like junk. Some of it like mostly junk to people that aren't from the swamp. Like they're like, why does she just have garbage in her pocket? And she like finds like a little piece of paper that's like all rolled up, and it's definitely like waterlogged, and she's like looking at it and she unfurls it and she goes, I only been gone for. It looks like 3, and then she like looks at it again as she like holds it up to the light, and she realizes that it's turned around, and she goes, 1 second.
In the meantime, while she's doing that, I'm gonna be like, I'm Chamu. This is Paulie. This is our group. We are with the Lotus. And I'll flash like my little Lotus token at them.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well,
All right.
Do that.
Yeah, at
That
this
is
point in the
that
timeline, that is a
under-wraps.
secret.
Yeah, that is
Yes.
the under wraps part of this
is that the
conversation.
hottest secret? Did I just unveiled something I shouldn't have? Oh,
Yes, 100%.
Well,
it happened.
Okay, it might look like I might have been gone for about 24 moon cycles, but I thought I was only gone for 4.
That's 2 years, Dorley.
That's 2 full years. So you're working on a third.
I might have just gotten a little distracted. I'm real sorry.
oh, don't worry about it none. And he's going to kind of wrap his arm around you and bring you close. It's nice to have you back. Oh, you know, you were once my star pupil. Now I got to deal with this sack of hay over here. He's going to sort of gesture to Eugene. So, what brings y'all to the swamp? Not many people usually come through these parts. And for good reason. Not everyone here is friendly towards outsiders.
We it's my friend here was unfortunately injured, and Dora Lee said that we could get them help.
Yeah, these is all good people.
Yeah, he's
She,
gonna
like, waves to the friends, like to her group. She's like, "These is all good people. I wouldn't have brought them here if I didn't personally vouch for them."
well, I mean, I believe you. I wouldn't believe you'd ever try to bring harm to none of us out here. Ain't no way none of us kin would ever want to do that to each other. He's gonna look up at Chamu and he's gonna outreach his hand and go, "Name's Mo Bandy."
Ramu. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And who's this beautiful creature we got here?
This is
This is
Trinket.
Trinket.
And this is Chime. Both are beautiful.
Oh wow. You got a weird marking. She's all got weird markings. You look like you're one of them air sisters.
Yes, I'm Sister Chime of the Air Nomads.
Oh well, pleasure to meet you. We've run into a couple of your type once or twice before. They come around here, but it's not like we've got much donations to give them, obviously.
We don't typically go out looking for donations, anyways. I'm sure they just wanted to visit your lovely swamp.
I'm sure. Well, listen, he's gonna kind of get up close to Trinket. He's gonna inspect kind of the wounds that she has. Now, if we can get her into some of the water that's up towards the great tree, we might be able to do a little bit of a healing ritual. Problem is, I ain't got all the supplies I need. Something's been, I don't know, somebody or something's been ransacking my stuff. Can't quite put a finger on what's doing it, but I don't have all the supplies I need. I might have to go out and get some more out in the swamp here. The only problem is, listen, I love me animals. I love all the animals. I love all the life in this world. Because our resources are so limited here in the swamp, I can't really do anything on my own accord. Unfortunately, y'all are going to have to talk to the leader of our tribe. Name's Waylon. He spends his time up over on that, high house right up there. I can come with you and try and vouch for you, but I'm not sure how he's going to take it. Doesn't really take keen to outsiders.
Well, we'll be as polite as we can be. This is dire need to get this creature, our friend, healed, and
Positively.
I think whatever help your village can offer is greatly appreciated. We'll do what we can. Out of character, because my brain is mush, and I was just wondering, did the lady from Lorray,
Lyra?
Lyra, there we go. Did she tell us that they were moving on to the swamp village?
No, they
S-
came. They were heading towards the desert next.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
It's
because I was
just-
like, oh, maybe your temple's in danger, your spirit temple, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she did say
Well-
that they were cutting through the swamp to get to the
Yeah.
Oh,
So they may have seen them. It just not.
yeah, perhaps they've passed through, and we can ask them those questions. And I guess I'll look at Poli, since he does speak swamp peoples.
Racist.
He does speak the lingo of swamps. And
We
be
ain't
like, "Oh,
speaking no different than none of y'all's.
Also, Dora Lee is right there.
I would like to point out that
say that in
Masaru
character?
is
We're talking
staying
about
quiet,
starting
but he's like
to leave.
bouncing on his feet. Like, if we just need to do things to get them to help us, I'm willing to do things. Like, he's eager to be like, me, I can help.
Yes. We'll have you help as well.
Well, he hasn't
We'll
said anything.
all
He's
help.
just kind of bouncing on his toes, like.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to turn to Poli. Poli, how would you go about this?
Pulley does the thing that it's become a kind of common thing of like visibly checking himself from just giving orders. He instead puts his hand on Chamu's shoulder and says, "Go and speak with the council. We will see what we can do to assist around here and gather the resources needed."
Okay. And he's just gonna be like, all right, Chime, since Trinket is yours, and Do Rah, if you could tag along as well, that would be greatly appreciated. Masaru, stay here with Poli.
He's gonna kind of give a real sloppy salute.
He's just gonna be like, why?
Before Mo leaves, I do want to take him aside and be like, "What can we do to assist? Whether it's gathering resources or just helping out around. We understand that resources are limited within the town. We're willing to help our way. Except I realize I'm speaking to a swamp bender, so we're gonna rephrase that. Like, what kind of help y'all can need? We know that we don't want to imposition y'all on none. So you let me know what we can do to help out."
Oh, you sound a little bit like some kinfolk. Well, he's gonna look up at Chamu, and since it seems you seem to be fancying yourself the leader of this here group, and it's her bison, I suggest you two probably head up and talk to Waylon. As for you, as for the rest of you, he's gonna notice that Masaru is kind of jumping and seems like he's got a lot of energy. I'll tell you what. If we can get your beautiful bison here up to the waters of the tree, we'll be able to do a ritual. And she'll probably be healed within the next, with the healing powers, if I get Jolie to get on that, probably shouldn't take more than a day or two.
Jolene always stealing people's mans.
If I can, if you want, now I'm saying you can do this. If you want to try, I can give you some directions to where to find some of the things I need for the recipe. I could whip you up a little bit of a potion, something that she can take, and that might heal her up quick. Might take a little longer. I guess it depends on how everything goes up there. But the combination of the two things, she'd be back ready to go. Heck, probably by tomorrow.
Then I reckon that's what we should be doing. You point us in the direction, you pull that trigger, we'll be on our way.
All right. In that case, he's gonna kind of point to Doralee, and he's gonna kind of take his finger and be like, "Come here, doll. Now listen, I know you ain't been around these parts in a while, but I know you know where I like to forage all my good stuff. So I'm sure you haven't forgotten that, have you?"
No, sir.
All right. Now, I know how cranky Waylon can be, so what I'll do is I'll come and I'll assist you guys trying to talk to him. And you guys, he's going to hand a little really crudely drawn map to Dora. How about you and your friend here and that jittery looking one? Why don't you guys head out, see if you can find some supplies for us? Maybe you can find the stuff I need and we can whip up that potion real quick to help her.
Absolutely.
Oh, Eugene, go with them. I know she ain't been here in a while, so she might need all the help she can get. Fine, I'll go with her. Make sure that they don't get eaten by no croc gators, otter gators. He's gonna like nudge you.
Croc Gator would be the most hilarious Avatar mashup. It just looks
Just the same thing. Just literally
it's like it looks like a normal alligator, just vaguely wrong somehow.
vaguely, yeah, just like kind of unsettling.
Just a little chunkier.
I mean, it's just like the Earth King, the future Earth King, who has a bear. It's not a possum bear. It's not a tiger bear. It's just a bear.
Just a bear.
Kingdom's weird. Before we go, I will give like some sweet grass or other treats to Lyra, and have her stay with Trinket, and basically just like feed her some treats and keep her calm while we're all off doing shit.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, if anyone wants to take her with them, she's free to just kind of like follow whichever one wants to kind of like be in charge of being around her, I guess.
I don't think we should take her if we're going to the dangerous spots.
I don't want to bring no extra person into no swamp.
So yeah, Chime, if you want to take her to meet with the
Yeah, we'll take her.
Okay.
Waylon.
Laura
right.
Lee.
Waylon and Waylon's partner Utani.
Yeah, Tani.
All right. In that case, who wants to do their little quest first?
I feel like it might take less time to do ours. So let's have the people going out and foraging do theirs.
You want to do the foraging one now?
Sure, why not?
Let's get
Okay.
Ellie in there.
Wait, hold on. How much longer do you plan on having this go? Because I think we're getting ready to get close to our usual stopping time.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, we are.
So we should probably do the conversation.
If we do
Yeah.
conversation,
We
then
do
we'll do
conversation?
foraging next.
Yeah, we can do foraging next if that's.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right.
Cool. All right. Waylon is gonna
Waylon.
Oh, sorry. Mobandy.
I hate you,
Eugene
man. I
is
hate
gonna
you.
pipe up and just kind of go, all right, well, if we're gonna head it back into the mist, y'all better follow me. And he's gonna have that group go with him. And Mobandy is gonna be like, all right.
I know we've mentioned it before. I also like to think that Eugene's zigzag thing does absolutely nothing.
No, it does nothing.
It's just
canon.
something that Eugene has decided is just like, this helps, but it doesn't.
And Mobandy will start walking up with you guys to Waylon's quarters. All right. He's gonna head up to the door, knock on it. Out comes this sort of really skinny, kind of hunched over, long white beard looking guy. He's got a cane. It's almost like shaking in his arms while he's like looking up at you. Oh no. Don't tell me you brought in more outsiders to this place. Now listen, it wasn't me who found them. It was Eugene. And they was with, you'll never guess, Do Rah. What? Do Rah? That troublemaker's back? Well, that's even worse than outsiders.
Dorothy, what did you do to these people?
I like to think Dorley coming back cost a lot of people some money. Like, there were bets.
You shifted the economy.
It's more like there was a bunch of snacks that changed hands, because those are the commodity around here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are gonna be making gumbo for other people for weeks to come.
Gumbo and cheap booze.
The beignets
Can
are
make
just
you go blind.
flowing.
Somebody is going to be cooking up a bunch of catfish gator tail steaks.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean,
Asian
those are
style.
good.
All right. So what they want something?
Yes. Dore Lee said that you'd be able to help our friend Chime here. Her sky bison was badly injured by a few people, some pirates, and it brought it down here near the swamp. And it would be greatly appreciated. We are willing to give aid to your village, so that we're not putting you out. And we have people out right now with what's his name?
Mobandy is going to kind of look at you as you are almost saying this, and he's going to kind of step right in front of you and be like, here's the thing. She's hurt real bad. But the thing is, I might be able to help her if we can get her up in the water up by the tree. Problem is, according to your rules, not allowed to do none of that without your approval. So, it's up to you. What are you thinking? He's going to kind of look at both Chamu and Chime and, well, if this is her bison, why isn't she speaking up for it?
Oh no.
We're gonna
That's great.
rip her.
Don't worry about it. Real quick, before I say anything, I would like to take a moment. Can I do an assess?
And Chime without
Sure.
her emotional support extrovert.
It's fine.
She
Everything's
has two emotional
fine.
support extroverts, apparently. She is a very fortunate shy person.
Not when I roll like that. However,
You don't have your emotional support extrovert with you.
the move I took from another playbook was Eyes of the Soul, which is when I assess, I can ask an extra question, even on a miss. Just has to be one of these two questions here. So I'm gonna ask, how can I bring about peace here? Not the question I wanted to ask, but I'll take it.
Peace.
No.
We're living in peace here.
No. GM, you're supposed to tell me out of character so I can make assessments towards
I'm
it.
so sorry.
Because it gives me
He's-
+1s if I act on the information you give me.
He was so into it that he forgot.
I know.
I did. I'm getting into these characters here. I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't start.
it's-
He asked me a question. I didn't go, how can I bring Pete? No, it's not what happened.
It's the Jekyll and Hyde that is swamp benders. They just creep up in your psyche and take over.
That's how it works.
Here's the deal. The reason that these people are so secluded is obviously they have few resources to begin with. They view, especially some of the older crowd, views sort of any sort of attention from any outsider could possibly endanger them. It's also possible. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
It's possible that if you are, if you're able to convince him that you guys don't really pose much of a threat as outsiders.
We're
them.
also not planning on staying.
Yeah, to them or to their village, it's a possibility that they might be more swayed to help you, I suppose. But also, I guess that answers your question. Does it?
I mean, how could I bring peace to this situation? So basically, how can I calm him the fuck down? So yeah, I suppose that that more or less answers it. Which is convince him that.
Also, I don't know if he's like acting super out of turn. He's just kind of like a grumpy old guy. You know what I mean?
Right, and I want him to not be a grumpy old guy at me. I would like my bison fixed.
Sure.
Fix my pet, please.
I mean, you have other moves you guys could do. You can plead with him. You can
No,
try to trick him, or
that's what I was getting to. This is
Okay.
the setup, so I could get the plus
okay.
one. So to answer his actual question towards me, which is why am I not talking? The Chime will bring her hands together and give a formal bow. I am Sister Chime, and Trinket is my friend, and I felt it was a good idea to let the introductions happen first before I spoke up. Elder.
All right. He's going to kind of look at you guys and listen, I don't know where y'all are from, but as far as I'm concerned, there have been way too many people crossing through this swamp recently. Few of the scouts of the village have come back saying they've seen some weird people in some weird outfits trying to do some weird stuff, and we don't want no part of that. So I hope none of y'all are trying to do anything weird to this village.
No,
Absolutely not.
we only came to get help for my friend, and I would greatly appreciate if you would allow us to make use of the water by the tree. We don't want to cause any harm, and we intend to leave shortly afterwards. And you are probably right to avoid the others who came through if they are who I think they are. And I'm willing to give an attempt at a plead now.
Okay.
Can I
Let's-
assist with that plead?
You can.
Yeah, give me that
wanna-
help action.
If
The
you
help
want to
action, I think, is something that happens afterwards, depending on the roll.
When you take
Mhm.
appropriate action to help a companion, mark one fatigue to give them +1 to the roll after the roll.
after the roll.
After the roll.
You cannot help in a combat exchange, which this is not.
This is not.
Not that
So
you think
I
of
will
it.
add that those people, and I'll, if I have
I don't need any help.
destroy it.
I got a 13.
Woo!
They are
Sister
disrupting
Chime.
spirits. Ooh. Dang. You didn't need my help.
At all. I'm a
Do
very
you want the
polite young
+1
woman.
anyways? I'll give it to you. For
No, you
Don't
gotta mark.
finish me.
You gotta mark fatigue for that. Keep your fatigue.
All right. I'll keep. I'll keep my 0 fatigue.
Alright.
Okay.
Uh,
Um.
I did it.
Yeah, you did. He's gonna. After you say that, he's gonna kind of look you in the eyes and you know, I've been around a long time. Seen a lot of people standing right where you are asking me for help. Not that really have much to give. One of the reasons why we don't really have good relationships with no outsiders is because we don't really have much for ourselves to begin with. Now, although this goes against my better judgment, I will allow you to take your bison up to the tree and let it heal in the water. Now, is there anything else you think you might need to get your bison back up to speed?
Chime will look at our. My brain has already deleted his name, probably to protect itself.
Mo Bandy is his name.
Andy. I'll look to him inquisitively as they're the one actually doing the healing.
Well, it's gonna take. I mean, there's a ritual to do it. Unfortunately, I'm not too skilled in the art of moving water around in that way. It's very precise. You might have to ask some of the other more experienced water movers around here if they can help with that. But what I can do is help with the remedy that she can take. And if you will let me, I will gather those supplies out into the forest. I'll forage them, and we can get started on that. If that's okay with you. And he's going to kind of look at Waylon, and before Waylon says anything, he's just going to kind of cough and just nod his head and, all right, I trust you, but if anything, and I mean anything, befalls this village, I will have your head. And he's pointing at Mo. All right, and with that, it seems like we have gotten grant from the elder to let you guys use the water. And we will end the session now, and we'll do our little things. But do you have something to say, Kit?
Yep. Once we leave Waylon's presence, you get to see what it looks like when an airbender hyperventilates for a little while, which is real impressive.
Oh, yeah, you want to?
Hyperventilation.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a lot of air going in and out.
Other
anybody-
people start to have trouble breathing when they hyperventilate.
Yeah, does anyone have any reaction to that?
She'll calm down. That's fine.
I think Chamu's just gonna rub her back and be like, "It's okay. Slow breaths through your nose, out through your mouth. There we go." Just gonna try to help regulate them. You did a great job. You didn't even need me. I was just there. You're doing fine. Everything's fine.
Gonna
So-
try and give me that guide and comfort move there, buddy?
Yep. I'm gonna try to give you that guide and comfort food.
All right.
Whoa!
Hey! Look at you being all
I'm
comforting.
Hiding and comfort.
Look at that.
It's the tea.
It's the tea.
Tea. It all gets back to
Okay.
the tea.
It's Masaru's tea.
Okay, with a full hit, Chime, you actually can change something. On a
Yeah,
10
I
plus,
get-
you embrace their their guidance and comfort, and if you want to, you can shift their balance.
I'm going to go ahead and clear guilty.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, considering I've had that for a minute. Chamu gets to ask a question that I have to answer honestly. And you also have the option to shift my balance if you want.
Oh, I thought you were getting to shift my balance.
No,
Right.
other way around.
Oh, okay.
You're the one guiding at the moment.
Is there something you haven't told me yet, Chime? Just doing the slow circles on your back, keeping the pace with the breathing.
Hold on, let me think about it a second. What's the honest answer to that question? Hmm. Yeah. Sorry, my brain decided to lock up the second you asked. It was working beforehand, I swear. It's all these swamp bender names gumming up the works, I'm sure.
Mobander, Eugene.
Movandy, Eugene, Waylon, Jolie.
All right. What have I haven't told? Okay. I don't think I've uh, uh, ever actually spoken to an elder who was that mad at me before.
It's okay, you did a really good job. You kept calm. You were clear and concise.
Right. And do you want to shift my balance?
I guess.
No, I think you get to decide if they shift their balance.
Oh,
No. On a 10 plus, if they, meaning the target, embrace your guidance, meaning the person who rolled, and comfort you, meaning the person who rolled, may also shift their balance, again,
Yes.
the target.
Yep. So you get to decide if you want to. You don't have to, but you can.
What are your principles so that?
Yeah, what are
Rezin
your
knows
principles?
Uh,
That'll help.
my principles are role, as in my role as an icon, and freedom. And
I'm
as a
gonna
reminder, my role is about bringing peace between like people and spirits and helping with natural disasters. That's what my group does.
So I'm gonna shift it towards your role
Okay.
because you played your role perfectly.
It's very
you
true.
came, you asked for help, you got help. You did the thing.
Julie, do the thing.
Truly,
That's a whole different playbook.
All right, awesome. We're gonna end on that very sweet note. Before we end, I will say that we will do our little growth questions real quick. To get them out of the way, we'll start with Chamu. Did you help a companion find a significant success with their issue or lead the group in finding a significant collective success?
Not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think maybe if things had gone a little different in that
If I had helped, maybe
in that room a little bit, it might
Yeah,
go a different way. But
maybe I could have said yes, but no.
did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Yes, I learned that swamp the swamp vendors have a fear of the outside world that is unfounded. And that complicates their relationship with outsiders, making it difficult for them to get necessities that they need. And that should probably be worked on at some point.
Okay, yeah, I'll give that to you. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
No. I don't think I. Maybe a community problem, as in our group's problem with Trinket, kind of, but not really. Chime did that, so
Okay. I'll take that as a no if you don't
No.
think so.
no, I don't think so.
And did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? And yes, you did.
I did that in the center, and I balance for
Yep,
Chime.
you did in fact, setting me towards my role, in fact balanced out the freedom from earlier.
true.
Yay!
You're not allowed too much freedom, Chime.
Nope, I'm not. It'll go to my head and I'll go wild with power. Or just disappear into the great blue yonder. With Trinket, which will screw the rest of y'all.
In that case,
Yeah,
it
that'll
looks
suck.
like you fill out the next two things on your growth chart, which means you get to take an advancement.
Woo!
Yay! All right. We'll do Dora next. She's the next playbook underneath you. Dora, it looks like I think you hit growth last time, but you didn't choose a thing.
Oh, I forgot.
It's okay. So
That was a little character bleed.
it's okay. We can discuss that at a different time. I'm going to make a mental note, or I'm going to write down that.
No, yeah, let's not make a mental note. Let's make a note.
You
now.
have a growth advancement. You have I'm going to say +1 advance to Dora. All right. Did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong, or that you should have listened to someone you ignored?
Kind of. No, I didn't. No.
I think if you had decided to get Poli when you saw the otter gator, that would have shown some vulnerability from you, and I think maybe in that instance you would have got that question. But yeah, I agree that that did not happen. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? Maybe you learned how the moon works.
Yeah. I wouldn't count.
Learning the actual date, I think, is something new about the world for Dora Lee.
Learn how long 2 years is as opposed to like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll give you being gone for 2 years is something challenging to learn, but not that how the moon works. He knows that. Just wasn't paying attention.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I did stop a dangerous threat. I got that otter gator. I wrestled it.
All right, but how do you know if that was a real otter gator is the question.
I felt it in my soul.
I felt it in my vine whips and my razor leaf and my other
I will
moves.
give you that one. I will say that it was not real. It was a figment of your imagination, but it was designed to get you to try and either go one way or the other. So, I'll give it to you. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I think I let you do that. Yeah,
You did?
You did. I think you did end the session.
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh wait, well, hold on. No,
No.
you didn't, because your center is technically the +2 over here,
Yeah.
and you're currently in the middle. So no,
Yeah.
you didn't. Okay, so that's 1. You get 1 mark for that.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Masaru. Did you express gratitude to a companion for their presence, support, or teaching? No.
No.
Okay. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
No.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
Nope.
Did you guide a companion towards balance at the end of session, or towards balance, or end the session at your center?
I did end the session at center. So
Sure.
that's just the one.
Take it. All right.
Oh, and I did pick the one move I was supposed to choose last time. I chose to take one of my own moves, wait and listen. So
Cool.
my first advance has been chosen. Hooray!
Sweet. Make sure that you
Yeah, it's already marked on my sheet.
Okay, cool. All right. Poli, I always get confused when we get to you.
Yep, the answer is no.
Great.
The Shamu did not move his center towards leadership, and that is about the only thing that can happen right now that'll give me an advance.
Cool.
Gotta start
Right.
guiding and comforting.
The problem is, if I do that, that moves me towards experience, and I am one shy of getting max experience. I'm gonna start effing myself over that way. So I have to. Somebody's got to move me to humility first, and that's not happening.
Gotcha, we gotta humiliate an old man. All right, let's
Yes.
go.
I was gonna say we need the prodigy to show up the old man. That's what we need.
Do it, do it, do it.
It's all up to you, Masaru.
All right. Chime.
Put this on your shoulders.
Chime. Did you accomplish a
Yeah.
feat worthy of your burden and tradition?
I'd say no.
Okay. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Think so, not really.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I mean, if we're counting getting Waylon to help us solve Trinket, yes. Otherwise, no.
I
Whether or
think the
not we
definition of
count as-
community could also lead to like the fact that Trinket has kind of been a community problem for you guys in the sense that you've needed to get her help and you did succeed in a part of that. So I think you do get growth for that.
Okay.
And then did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? Thankfully, thanks to Chamu, you did end your session at center.
Yep. So I get another 2 growth, and I need 1 more, and I will become even more accomplished.
Awesome. All right. And with that, we are going to wrap it up here for session 4 of Avatar Legends here on the Shadows of Nox page. Thank you for watching. And I hope you guys have a great night.
Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate.
Yep.
Happy
Yes, happy
Thanksgiving.
holidays and happy Thanksgiving.
Bye everybody.